Hi there. Thought for us to contemplate on today. How's my posture going as I move around in the day? And how am I breathing? What I personally notice quite often is that if I'm having a bit of a tense moment, I'm actually holding my breath. See if you notice that too. The power of our breath is amazing to help us flow through life. So today's topic, what is homeopathy and how does it actually work? So homeopathy has been around for a very, very, very long time, and it's been re-emerged in the last couple of 100 years by a German doctor called Samuel Hahnemann. It works on the principle that everything in life has a field of energy, and I've spoken previously about this, that anything that has a life force is emitting an energy, and from the physical, which is the most densest form, through to the metaphysical or the more finer field of energy that surrounds everything, we have these layers. So in homeopathy, what we're doing is we're taking a substance and we're using it at a much finer level. We're preparing it in a way that we're taking it away from its material, physical substance, but we're still capturing the essence or the energy that created its form. So let's say, for example, we're working on the concept that there's 3 different kingdoms inside of us. There's actually more, but let's just say for now there's 3. One is mineral, one is animal, and one is plant. So we can take substances from those 3 different kingdoms and we can actually make a medicine out of them. So let's say we take an oyster shell after the oyster's not there anymore, and we grind that up. It's got a whole lot of calcium carbonate in there, which we use in nature. It's everywhere. Calcium is, of course, the structure that helps us to form our framework of our body, to form our bones, and it holds us up. So if we take a small amount of that calcium and then we grind it up and we dilute it and crush it and dilute it to a very, very fine powder, and then we shake it many times and we take some of that off, and then we do that again. We put a small amount of what was just removed and we put it in some more water and we shake it again, and we do that again and again and again. So let's say we do that 6 times. We then have a 6th dilution of some original calcium powder, ground up oyster shell or chalk, and we now have a calcium preparation which we then give back to a person who has very weak bone structure, weak joints. They're getting osteoporotic perhaps. They're having troubles with fluid metabolism in the body because they've got so much fluid but they haven't got enough structure in their system. And so we then give that back in a very tiny form to help the body reabsorb. It gets a signal from that essence of the calcium so that it then starts to reabsorb calcium out of the diet in a proper way. Not too much, not too little. And it goes to the right places. So that's part of how homeopathy is used, prepared and used. And we can use animal remedies, substances from the animal kingdom, and there's thousands of them, and the plant kingdom as well. There's thousands of those. So as a homeopath, the most important quality that we do as a practitioner, and I've been using homeopathy for over 40 years now, and I still say I'm a novice, I'm still learning. Any good homeopath will say, oh my gosh, it's an art that you never stop learning. It's a fascinating one because it requires us to sit there and listen to a person describing their life. So we're looking for things like what's their physical symptoms, what's troubling them, what causes stress in their world, what bothers them, what ailments have they got, how does that affect their sleep patterns, how does that affect their digestive system, their hormonal activity, the way they deal with the world, how do they meet the world in a way that is showing itself in that form of disease. And then we match that with a corresponding mineral product, animal product, or plant product that matches the state that that person's feeling inside them. And when we do that, if we get a perfect match, we give that remedy in such a tiny dose, but it re-establishes harmony and resilience in their system so that their vitality, those vital forces that come from their soul essence, can be restored and rebalanced in their body. And so it brings about a gradual cure, a true cure, so that the person comes back later on and says, oh, those symptoms, they're gone. I'm good now. And I don't seem to have the stresses the way I used to when particular things happened in my life. So we know their mind, their body, their emotions are getting stronger, and we know that their soul is returning into their physical form so that they can enjoy a better quality of life, away from dis-ease and into ease. So that's the essence of how homeopathy works and why I've used it for so long. Is it an easy art to use? No, the principle's very simple, but it takes time and patience and practice to really develop the skills required. And that main skill is learning to listen. So that's all for today. I wish you many blessings. I wish you peace and love and joy in your life in gradually increasing amounts. And like all of us, when our time comes to leave this world, we can go with a smile on our face and move on to the next level of eternity.